Okay, so you're interested in mental health first aid.
Which I get it, we've all been there, wanting to help someone who's struggling, but kind of feeling totally lost. It's
Yeah.
like trying to find a bandage when someone's having a panic attack, you
Right.
know? But what if you actually had the tools to help,
Hmm.
to actually make a difference in those moments? That's what we're diving into today. How mental health first aid equips you to be that support for someone in need.
It's a bit like having those like basic CPR skills,
Oh,
you
oh,
know?
yeah.
You hope you never have to use them,
Right?
but knowing that you can makes all the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just like a physical health crisis, right?
Hmm.
Recognizing the signs early on can be crucial in a mental health situation as well.
Okay, so no more helpless bystander feeling. We can actually learn what to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Mental health first aid gives you a framework, how to spot the signs someone might be struggling, what kind of support is helpful, and how to guide them towards professional resources if when needed.
Okay, that makes sense, but let's be real. Mental health is a huge topic.
Yeah.
What kind of signs are we even talking about here?
It's not always as obvious as a physical injury, right?
You're right, it's not always clear cut.
Right.
But think about changes in behavior.
Yeah.
Someone becoming withdrawn, irritable, having trouble sleeping, or maybe even expressing feelings of hopelessness.
Okay.
These could all be signs that someone is
See,
struggling.
those are things that we might just easily miss or even brush off,
Right.
like, oh, they're just having a bad day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why this training is so valuable.
Yeah, okay.
It helps you understand those subtle signs
Okay.
and gives you the confidence to actually reach out.
Yeah.
Because even just asking, "Hey, is everything okay? I've noticed you seem a bit down lately," can make a world of difference. Yeah, no, that's true. So it's about being more attuned to those around us, not just assuming that everything's fine.
Right.
But what happens when it's not fine?
Yeah.
Like, what if someone is having a full-blown panic attack? That feels way beyond my skill set.
Sure, sure. That's where the first aid part comes in.
Okay.
You're not expected to be a therapist,
Right.
but you can learn how to help someone through a crisis.
Okay.
Think of it like knowing how to stop the bleeding
Mm-hmm.
while you wait for the paramedics to arrive.
Okay. That analogy makes me feel a bit more equipped to handle things. But what does that crisis support actually look like?
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
It can depend on the situation, of course,
Right.
but often it's about creating a safe space,
Okay.
like helping them find a quiet spot,
Cool.
minimizing any sensory overload,
Right.
speaking calmly.
Mm-hmm.
These can all really help de-escalate the situation.
So not crowding them or bombarding them with questions.
Exactly. And instead of saying like, don't panic,
Right.
which can be very dismissive,
Right. Right.
try saying something like, hey, I'm here with you. We'll get through this together.
Okay.
It's about validating their experience and offering reassurance.
Yeah. It's amazing how much just the way we communicate can impact someone in a crisis. It's almost like learning a new language, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And like any new language, it takes practice.
Right.
But the more we understand about mental health,
Mm-hmm.
the more fluent we become in providing that support.
That's a good point. Yeah. This is all starting to make sense.
Good.
But I have to admit, the idea of guiding someone toward professional help
Yeah.
still feels a little daunting to me.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's one thing to, offer support,
Right.
but actually navigating the world of therapists and treatments,
Right.
it can be really overwhelming, even for the person who is struggling.
Exactly. It's like being handed a map to a foreign country when you don't even know the language.
Right. And that's where mental health first aid can be really empowering.
Okay.
You learn about different types of mental health professionals,
Mhm.
what to expect from therapy, and how to actually help someone find the right resources for their needs.
So it's about providing that initial support and then helping them connect with more specialized care if needed.
Precisely. And
Excellent.
sometimes that's as simple as like knowing how to find a therapist in their area or helping them make that first phone call.
Okay.
Those small steps can feel like huge hurdles when someone is struggling.
Right. Okay, that feels a lot more manageable than trying to play therapist myself.
Right.
But what about, okay, the people in my life who might be dealing with more long-term mental health challenges?
Sure.
This training is helpful for that too.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the most valuable aspects of mental health first aid is learning to provide that ongoing support
Okay.
to friends, family, or colleagues who live with mental health conditions.
So not just crisis intervention.
Right.
but really understanding how to be there for someone, like in a more meaningful kind of way.
Exactly.
I
You
guess.
learned about different conditions like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder,
Hmm.
not to diagnose, but to better understand what someone might be going through.
So it's about informed empathy,
Yes.
being able to understand and support someone's experience from a place of knowledge rather than fear or
I
judgment.
got it. It's about breaking down those barriers and creating a space where mental health can be discussed openly and honestly.
Right.
And that's a really powerful thing.
It really sounds like mental health first aid equips you to be like a better friend, family member,
Yeah.
colleague,
Hmm.
to those around you, not just someone who can like react in a crisis, but is just more aware.
Exactly. And just like any other skill, right?
Yeah.
The more you understand about mental health, the more confident you become in navigating those conversations and offering support. It's
Yeah.
like it's like anything else. Practice makes perfect.
So where does someone even begin with this? Are we talking like years of study here?
Because I have to be honest, my schedule's pretty packed.
That's the great thing about mental health first aid.
Okay.
It's designed to be accessible.
Oh.
You can find courses online in your community, maybe even offered through your workplace.
Oh, okay. So no need to enroll in like a full-blown degree program.
Not at all. It's about fitting this knowledge into your life,
Right.
not the other way around.
Right.
And honestly, that's what makes it so impactful. You're not just learning theory.
Right.
You're gaining practical skills you can use right away to make a real difference in your world.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation, I feel like. I've gone from feeling like clueless about mental health to actually having a sense of what I can do to help.
That's what we're hoping for. Because the truth is, we all have a role to play in creating a world where mental health is treated with the same importance as physical health.
Right.
And that starts with each of us taking that first step towards understanding.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into mental health first aid, what's the one thing you hope our listener takes away from this conversation?
It's simple, really. You don't have to have all the answers to make a difference.
Mhm.
Just being present, informed, and willing to listen can be incredibly powerful. You already have what it takes to be a source of support for someone in need.
So to our listener out there, we hope this deep dive has inspired you to learn more, to reach out, and to become a part of the mental health first aid movement. Because even small acts of understanding can have a ripple effect, creating a kinder, more supportive world for everyone.